never complained, whether in public or in private, but carried on like the gentle giant that he was until the Creator called him home. Right Honorable Speaker and member.
A man whose life rose to become one of General Idi Amin's most trusted ministers, and later took up arms as a rebel leader before accepting amnesty and returning to national life. General Ali devoted over 5 decades of his life to public service. Throughout that long journey, he served Uganda in various capacities: as a soldier, a member of parliament, a cabinet minister in several portfolios, first deputy prime minister, second deputy prime minister, and deputy leader of government business. He remained a central figure in Uganda's public affairs for many years. The late General Moses Ali belonged to a generation of leaders that witnessed and indeed participated in some of the most defining moments in Uganda's history. Through periods of political transition, conflict, reconstruction, and nation building. His longevity in public service also meant that he mentored and worked alongside several generations of leaders. Many members of this House today have differed with him politically, but they undoubtedly learned valuable lessons from his experience, his institutional memory, and understanding of the evolution of our nation. That wealth of experience deserves acknowledgement and respect. Public service is one of the noblest callings. It demands sacrifice, resilience, and commitment. The late Moses Ali answered that call for much of his life, and for that he deserves our respect and gratitude. He belonged to the NRM, and I belong to the National Unity Platform, NUP. But I respected him, even though we differed politically. I didn't even agree with the idea of him running for office again, yet he was unwell and needed to take a break. But I still give him his flowers for the service that he rendered this nation over the years. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, his passing, however, also invites us to reflect on an important national conversation. Death reminds all of us that beyond our different political parties, ideologies, and contests, we are all temporary custodians of public office. None of us is a permanent fixture in this world, and no position or status we hold is everlasting. So while we hold office, may we cause positive impact. May we be diligent leaders. Let us respect the rule of law and the people of Uganda whom we serve. As we mourn the late General Moses Ali, may this occasion renew our collective commitment to selfless leadership, accountable governance, and service above self. Let us strive to leave behind institutions that are stronger than we found them, and a country that is better because we had the privilege to serve. We welcome the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, who joined us earlier for this tribute session. I would like to urge him to prevail over the various security entities, to observe the law and respect the law as they do their work. The 1995 Constitution is a brainchild of the NRM government. We need to respect that Constitution. General Moses Ali was a believer in the rule of law, and that's why he gave up armed rebellion and then served in our national army. Anyone, whether a leader or an ordinary citizen, can be suspected by the state to have committed any offense, but they ought to be apprehended as the law stipulates, detained in a gazetted detention facility, and produced in court within 48 hours. Lately, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, people are abducted, taken for days, weeks, and even months. Sometimes they are tortured, their family does not know their whereabouts, and they are not produced in court. This is not right, and we must collectively condemn it. On behalf of the opposition, I extend our deepest condolences to the family of the late Right Honorable General Moses Ali, the people of Adjumani, the Muslim faith which he professed, the Nubian community which he loved dearly, his friends and colleagues, and all Ugandans who mourn his passing. May they find comfort in the years he dedicated to serving this our country. May God grant General Moses Ali eternal rest and comfort his family in this very trying time. For God and my country.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda is in the House, and she'll make a few statements.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. You are a very good man. Right Honorable Speaker and members of Parliament, I would like to sincerely extend my deepest condolences to the bereaved family of the late General Moses Ali. To you, Mr. Speaker, to His Excellency the President, to the Muslim community in Uganda and beyond, to the people of Adjumani, and indeed to all the people of Uganda. The Right Honorable Moses Ali was a nationalist who has served Uganda with dedication to the benefit of all the people of Uganda. His service to the country covered a wide range of spheres, including agriculture, politics, military, religion, education, sports, etc., in which he has left behind an indelible legacy. Mr. Speaker, the Right Honorable General Moses Ali was a commercial farmer who was a mentor and demonstrated to all the people of Uganda and the youth, especially, that the jobs and wealth are in commercial agriculture, in industry, services, and ICT. In his service as a politician, he mentored many, including myself. He was a freedom fighter, and he was such a humorous politician who you would not miss his message whenever he would communicate it. Mr. Speaker, in the military, he was such a disciplined officer, keeping time always. In cabinet, he would always be there before 9 to begin attending the Swahili lecture, the Swahili lessons, beating many younger ministers in terms of timekeeping. A good message that is living with us today. He was my neighbor in cabinet, and I really enjoyed his company. He would always communicate any small guidance which he feels that cabinet should consume, and I would articulate it on his behalf. Occasionally, he would write some messages for me to articulate for His Excellency the President. And whenever he would like to withdraw from cabinet, he would always make sure that he has sought for authority. I would now like to withdraw. It is time, it is 2 o'clock. There was a time when his doctors had advised him to always withdraw from cabinet at 2 o'clock. But he would not walk out without permission. And while walking out, he would always make sure that he greets His Excellency the President with a very sharp salute, even at his stage of his illness. So he was a very disciplined officer who knew what serving in the army meant, and indeed he was living like a military officer. Remember when we used to go to Chankwanzi, when he was still physically fit, we used to call him our bouncing officer. He would walk with a lot of haste, and you would enjoy the way he would be taking and carrying himself. Mr. Speaker, we all know that he loved the Muslim religion so much, but that did not stop him from being very close to other members of different religions. And he would always be a bridge between the teams in case there was an issue. I know that he comes from West Nile with a long history of service to the country, but he knew how to immerse himself in a situation and come out with the team in the situation that he finds himself in. We in cabinet will miss him. In education, Mr. Speaker, he was among the founders of West Nile University, a private university who I would like to encourage all members of this House to continue supporting up to the logical conclusion, because it is still in its initial stages. But he also supported university education, going to school at that age he went to get the bachelor's degree in law, and he also got a PhD honorary in IU. But you could see a leader whose heart is too much into university education, especially of the Muslim young girl. He used to talk about how Muslim young girls are always disadvantaged, but he was a voice in raising the young girls who are Muslims to go to school and complete school. Mr. Speaker, there was a small clip which was circulating at one time, demonstrating that General Moses Ali was indeed a supporter and a participant in sports. In Nambole, one time he was playing football, and he kicked it with all his might, and you saw what happened. But it is a fact that sports is very good for physical fitness. He was a sportsman, and indeed, he has mentored many young sports people. He touched many lives during his service to our country with his humor and simplicity in carrying his messages. Mr. Speaker, I thank His Excellency the President for standing with General Moses Ali and the family, especially during the time when he needed specialized treatment. His Excellency the President was always standing with him, according him all the necessary support in terms of medication. May the Almighty God rest the soul of General Moses Ali in eternal peace. Thank you.
Thank you. Lieutenant General James Mujira. Honorable Lieutenant General James Mujira.
The microphone is neutral, like the UPDF, so I can stand
UPDF
here.
stands on the side.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Right Honorable Speaker, colleague members of the August House, for the record, I'm Lieutenant General James Mujira, a Member of Parliament representing the Uganda People's Defense Forces, which is the other family of the late Right Honorable RO 10620, General Retired Moses Ari. I rise to second the motion for a resolution of Parliament to pay tribute to one of Uganda's longest-serving military officers at the time of his retirement, a four-star general who devoted his life to the service of his motherland, a courageous freedom fighter, politician, statesman, and servant of the people who breathed his last on Saturday, the 11th of July, 2026, at Nakasero Hospital at the age of 87. On behalf of the UPDF fraternity, I do extend our deepest condolences to the bereaved family, the people of Ajuman and the entire Western Nile sub-region, the honorable members of parliament, and His Excellency the President on the loss of this distinguished son of Uganda. As UPDF, we are mourning and paying a glowing tribute to one of us, a brave soldier who, according to available military records, joined the National Army, that was the Uganda Army at that time, on the 16th of May, 1968, as a cadet officer, and rose through the ranks to a four-star general at the time of his retirement. His military training included officer cadet and paratroop instructors course, company commanders course in Israel, and staff college course at Canberra in the United Kingdom. Right Honorable Speaker, General Ari's political and military career stretched across more than 5 decades and mirrored some of the most turbulent periods in Uganda's post-independence history. We are therefore paying tribute to a man whose life was deeply intertwined with the history of Uganda. His journey through different periods of our nation's history reflected a remarkable ability to adapt to changing circumstances. His resilience, experience, and ability to navigate changing political landscapes made him one of Uganda's most enduring public servants. His contribution will no doubt remain part of Uganda's historical record. As a freedom fighter, General Moses Ari believed in the ideals of national unity, peace, and stability, contributing to the country's journey through some of its most challenging moments. General Moses Ari led the Uganda National Rescue Front, UNRF, during the 1980s against the Obote II regime, and after the Obote II regime was overthrown by the NRA, he embraced peace and signed a peace agreement with the government on the 16th of November 1986, which resulted into the integration of the UNRF fighters into the National Minister of Finance. The second was Brigadier Barnabas Kiri, who was the Minister of Education. If you didn't know the two, I can assure you going to secondary school will be a problem. Right Honorable Speaker, General Moses Ari had a passion for and really loved the military. He always had officer 4 stars on his vehicle, even on the civilian vehicle, and even in retirement. Whenever the UPDF issued a new type of uniform in its stores, General Ari always asked for a pair of the new uniform. I know wherever he is, he must be happy that at least he has been given send-off in full military or with full military honors. I don't know which other portrait they would have put there with him in civilian clothes. General Ari, though my senior in all ways, whether it is in age, in rank, in status, was also a personal friend. I personally worked with him closely in the mid-1990s when I was private secretary to His Excellency the President, and I always treated his correspondences to the President on matters of stabilization of West Nile as a top priority. I later on worked with him closely in 2004 when I was in charge of the Chieftains of Military Intelligence at a time when some rebel group was trying to establish bases in West Nile, which, with his support, were able to dismantle that group. A few years back, when he came back from treatment abroad, he called and updated me of his health and a planned Thanksgiving function in Adjumani. I couldn't attend the function because I was out of the country, but I sent him some contribution towards the function. He was so grateful and appreciative that when he returned to Kampala, he gifted me an autographed copy of his book, The Odyssey of the Nubi, from soldiers of the British Empire to full citizens all in Uganda. In that book, he gives an account of the injustices to Nubi soldiers and the Nubi resistance against, with advancing government development programs, promoting national unity, and supporting partnerships aimed at improving livelihoods in Ajumani and other parts of the country. To many in the West Nile region, he was a respected leader who championed the interests of his people. His supporters remember him for his commitment to community development, national unity, and public service. No wonder they continued voting him into parliament even when his health had deteriorated and he was visibly frail. The Right Honorable Speaker, General Ali had the will to live. He was a fighter like a real general, and he fought on till the last hour. He could never miss national functions. I think even his decision to contest for Member of Parliament this year shows his never retreat, never surrender, never give up spirit of a general. Right Honorable Speaker, colleague members, as we mourn the General's departure, we also celebrate a life well lived, a life marked by service, sacrifice, and commitment to Uganda. His passing marks the end of a remarkable chapter in the country's history, but his legacy will continue to inspire generations. General Ali's contribution to our nation will remain woven into the fabric of our history, and his memory will continue to guide those who follow in his footsteps. We are grateful for a life lived with purpose, for sacrifices that secured our people's freedom, and for a legacy that will continue to inspire generations to come. Though the General is no longer with us in body, his spirit lives on in every citizen who cherishes freedom, every soldier who serves with honor, and every young person inspired to lead with integrity. May we honor the General's memory not only with our words, but with our actions. By preserving the peace he fought for, defending the freedoms he helped secure, and living by the principles he so faithfully upheld. To his beloved family, we thank you for sharing him with the nation, often at great personal sacrifice. We pray that the Almighty grants you strength, comfort, and peace during this difficult time. To the people of West Nile and colleague members of Parliament, the UPDF mourns with you. We honor a leader who dedicated much of his life to the service of his country and people. General, your mission on earth is complete. Your watch has ended, but your legacy endures. You have fought your battles, served your nation, and left a legacy that will not be forgotten. May the Almighty grant you eternal peace, and may your legacy continue to inspire thoughtful leadership, patriotism, and service to the nation. The gentle giant has gone to sleep. Fare thee well, General Moses Ali. Rest in peace. I thank you.
Thank you. So I hope you've heard generals never surrender, never retreat. Right Honorable First Deputy Prime Minister, General Moses Ali was your deputy, second deputy. And you worked with him as speaker here in this same chair, as deputy speaker.
Thank you very much.
3 minutes, please. Yeah.
Mwenyekiti na wabunge, habari za asubuhi.
Sawa.
Hujambo. Honorable Speaker, let me begin by thanking the interim government for the constitutional making process, because it enabled Uganda to correct certain very, very historical injustices. And one of them was the tribes that had been swallowed up by the bigger ones were able to get listed in the constitution and be recognized. And among those were the Nubi. Now, Speaker, General Ali, you have been told about the book he wrote. And I would recommend Mr. Siraj Ali, I think should try and make the books available to the members. It's very, very important reading so that people understand the history of this country and how people have been living. Somewhere in his book, he says the following: the feeling of having no power over one's history, no right to describe oneself, no capacity to determine one's destiny, no influence over what is written, no capacity to self-define, and the presence of general misery and hopelessness. This was the situation the Nubi people found themselves in, and Honorable General Ali did research over a long time, extensively by the way, and documented the history right from the, I think the 18th century, tracing all the Nubis, the Egyptian Nubi, the Acholi Nubi, the Langi Nubi, and all those until they came to Uganda. The book reflects on what must have been men who must got courage and whose migration and settlement were externally driven. They were just brought here through circumstances. They found themselves here and then they did not have a proper belonging. That's why I say that the constitution-making process was very important for the history of this country and for many of the tribes that had been marginalized. Honorable Ali was a calm person. I remember a number of occasions when we had very heated debates on Apa, on Zoka Forest. He remained calm despite the pressures. Those are very, very heated debates in this house. Actually, sometimes I thought this man, after that, he'll fall us. But he left, we would leave the chamber, go back, come back tomorrow, and then we'll do our work. So I really want to thank him for his calmness. You have been told about his military exploits, but I really wanted to concentrate on his struggle for identity and his struggle for the people of West Nile, and especially the Nubi people. Honorable Speaker, when we were growing up, after the Amin War, all people of West Nile were called Amin's people. So it meant that they were marginalized politically, socially, economically, and so on. I remember a lot of them lost their property. It has never been returned. I have a family that is still checking on me. They still come to me to find out, is it possible to unfreeze our accounts? Is it possible to get back our buses? And I write to the Ministry of Finance, nobody answers. I think nobody has a solution. But I think, Honorable Speaker, we have done a lot to restore what the Indians lost. These people also lost. You have been told that I was shown my children, some of them are my children, who were born in Zaire, born in Sudan. All of this belonged somewhere. Their parents lost property. They came back to nothing. They've never recovered. So I think it is time we did something for this community. So I want to really thank General Ali. By the way, he taught us, whatever time I reached cabinet, he was always there. He was always there, never late. And as the VP has said, he would leave at a certain time, but leave with decorum. So I think he really teaches us discipline and punctuality. I really want to thank you for his contribution to Uganda, and I really pray that the wrongs against the people of West Nile should be corrected. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Right Honorable former Speaker, now the First Deputy, I thought you were going to tell this House about his calmness. He was seated there one day, and somebody raised order, and that he was sleeping. When he got up, He said, you know, I was just meditating and closing my eyes to avoid seeing ugly people like. That was the man. Honorable members, in the VIP gallery this afternoon, this morning, we have Right Honorable Brigadier General retired, Alhaji Moses Chigongo, the first National Vice Chairperson NRM and former Deputy Speaker of this House for 10 years. And then we have the Right Honorable Ruhana Rugunda, the former Prime Minister. We also have Honorable Peter Lokeris, former Minister of Karamoja. We have Ambassador Nusura Tiperu, Ambassador of Uganda to Turkey. We have Honorable John Emily Otekat, to the late, yeah. Honorable Wangolo Jacob, former MP. Honorable Gerard Seranda, the Yala MP and the Secretary General of DP. Honorable Olobo James Dubai, former Member of Parliament. Honorable Cooper Elijah, former Member of Parliament. Honorable Dominica Abu, former woman MP. Honorable Haji Idi Isabirie, former Member of Parliament. They have come to join Parliament in paying tribute to the late Right Honorable General Moses Ali. Please make them feel welcome. Now we have to do some housekeeping. The housekeeping is that, one, don't write to the speaker. Two, so many people want to speak, but I want to begin with the members of Parliament who are traveling to West Nile, because they have to leave. And we want to apportion time, 2 minutes each. And then until when we abuse it, we shall reduce it to 1. And the count starts now. Honorable Fungaro, the chairperson of the Caucus. 2 minutes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I am Honorable Fungaro Caps Hassan, Chairman, West Nile Parliamentary Caucus, Member of Parliament representing Obongi constituency in this Parliament. And also, one of the many students whom General Moses Ali, in the process of his struggle, preparing the future, preparing for the continuity of the struggle through educating people, he sent to various schools. I mourn General Moses Ali as a leader. In the interest of time, this is the theme under which I mourn General Moses Ali. Stock taking and recalibration of the struggle General Moses Ali stood for and lived for. Stock taking means counting the gaps and the gains. What did he fight for? And what did he get in the fight? And what did he not get? This is a moment of counting those things. Some of the things he fought for, Right Honorable Alitwala Rebecca Kadaga, our former speaker, mentioned here and were not fulfilled. For example, the compensation of the people of West Nile for what they lost. Actually, not a compensation, but returning, giving them what they deserved. Just like what was taken for the Indians was given back to them. But what was taken from the West Nile people, Mama,
Honorable Olero Tom, answer. Honorable Olero Tom, answer. Use your time carefully.
Right Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the people of Moyo District and on my own behalf, I extend our sincere condolences to the bereaved family members and to all the Ugandans in your respective capacities. We are here to pay tribute to General Moses Ali posthumously. We are here to talk about his legacy, where he has been a seasoned, celebrated, hardcore military tactician, a farmer, a lawyer,